Good, happy Monday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's get started. First up, we're following some breaking news at this hour. Man suspected of killing Missouri officer has criminal history in New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to this video.
Yeah, we do have a name and an information of that person of interest that the Missouri State Highway Patrol is calling it. A person of interest in this case where a Clinton, Missouri police officer was shot and killed in the overnight hours. Police, Henry County Sheriff's deputies, also the state troopers have been staging behind us here at the Henry County Sheriff's Department throughout the overnight hours. This really began just down the street, right in front of the Henry County Library from the Sheriff's Department, about 10:45 last night. That's when a Clinton, Missouri police officer pulled over a vehicle somewhere pulled over that vehicle for a registration violation, is what troopers just told us moments ago. And somewhere during that traffic stop, the suspect got out of the vehicle and fired upon the officer. The officer was struck. He did return fire, got a shot off at the suspect, although police aren't sure whether or not the suspect was hit by the officer's gunfire or not. That officer has been identified as 37-year-old Gary Michael, a Clinton, Missouri resident who had been with the Clinton, Missouri Police Department now for less than a year. He leaves behind a wife and some stepchildren as well. That's what the Missouri State Highway Patrol just told us. So we do know that that suspect drove away from the scene. The vehicle was located very close, just a few blocks away, just a few blocks west of here, near Water Street and Green Street in Clinton, Missouri. And now the suspect, search for that suspect is continuing this morning. I think we've got a picture of the person of interest. Ian McCarthy is the guy's name. He's 39-year-old Clinton, Missouri resident who is on the loose, and police believe he is armed and dangerous this morning. So if you see this man, again, Ian McCarthy, 39 years old, of Clinton, Missouri, he's the person of interest in this case where a Clinton, Missouri police officer was shot and killed in the overnight hours. As far as the search right now, there are still dozens and dozens and dozens of officers, not only with the Clinton, Missouri Police Department, with the Missouri State Highway Patrol, also with the Henry County Sheriff's Department out in full force across Clinton. There are checkpoints set up. They did search a house overnight where they believed that the person of interest could be located. He was not inside, so now their search continues this morning. Now, the Clinton, Missouri Police Department not only mourning the loss of their officers, but they are loss of one of their officers, but they are also out working diligently in the overnight hours, working through the pain and the grief as well. And I can tell you the grief here in Clinton, Missouri can certainly be felt as well. This is a small community. A lot of people know these officers very well. So this is something that we're going to follow all morning here on First News. Emily.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Pedestrian hit, killed by tractor trailer in Norwood. A person is dead after being hit by a tractor trailer in Norwood. Police said the pedestrian was hit and killed in the area of Upland Road on Monday afternoon. There's no word on the cause of the incident. The operator of the truck was taken to the hospital for evaluation. The identity of the victim is being withheld at this time. He was my rock. Family remembers Maine Marine killed in military plane crash. One of 3 Marines missing after a U.S. military plane crashed off the coast of Australia was from Maine, his family said. First Lieutenant Benjamin Cross was from Bethel, Maine. Ryan Cross said his brother joined the Marine because he loved challenges and loved to fly. He said his brother was driven, hardworking, and self-flawless. Officials from Marine Base Camp Bertil in Japan said in a statement that the reason operation was suspended on Sunday morning, the military has launched a recovery effort instead, and the missing Marines' next of kin have been notified. The MV-22 Osprey had launched from the USS Bonhomme Richard and was conducted a regularly scheduled operation on Saturday when it crashed into the water. 23 of 26 personnel aboard the aircraft were rescued. Now let's take a look at your stock market and see how your stock market closed this evening. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the green and went up. Your S&P 500 index closed in the green and went up. Your Nasdaq closed in the green and went up. RUSS 2K closed in the green and went up, and VIX closed in the red and went down. Dow notches 9th straight record close. The Dow Industrial Average hit intraday in closing records on Monday, adding to last week's record-setting performance. North Korea promises thousands-fold revenge against U.S. over sanctions. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
Clean with a lesson taste. So it has the bad breath germ-killing power of this, with the lighter feel of this. Try Listerine Zero Alcohol.
North Koreans gathering in the street to see the regime's response to new sanctions, the toughest ever passed by the United Nations against Pyongyang, and with a unanimous vote. The country promising to reciprocate 1,000-fold for what it called America's villainous actions against our country and people, warning that if the U.S. thinks it will be safe because it is across an ocean, there is no bigger misunderstanding than that.
These sanctions will cut deep, and in doing so will give the North Korean leadership a taste of the deprivation they have chosen to inflict on the North Korean people.
The UN Security Council's sanctions against North Korea are expected to cost the regime nearly $1 billion a year. The unprecedented move spurred by unnerving progress from North Korea's nuclear and missile development efforts. Kim Jong-un conducting his furthest intercontinental ballistic missile launch just 9 days ago. President Trump tweeting he's very happy and impressed with the sanctions vote as Secretary of State Rex Tillerson travels the region to ensure all parties, especially China, stick to the sanctions.
The best signal that North Korea could give us that they're prepared to talk would be to stop these missile launches.
Tillerson says if the missile tests stop, the U.S. would be open to direct talks with North Korea, their latest provocative launch, the 11th test since President Trump took office. Emily Rao, ABC News, Washington.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And that did it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Monday evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with more news. Good night, everyone. Bye.